The Mandalorian Season 4 might not be appearing in a galaxy far, far away because it might not be appearing at all. Let's talk about that on That Park Place. Hello, hello. I am Jonas J. Campbell, an investigative reporter for That Park Place, and here with me is my recently reinstated friend, Mr. WDW Pro. Pro, you doing all right, man?
It's good to be back. I enjoyed my time here on That Park Place, and I love the little jingle and the chime. It's so nice over here, Jonas. So positive.
Oh, yes, yes. We installed those at the request of my wife. But today, we have something that we would love to talk about. This out of the Bespin Bulletin. They bury the headline a little bit here on the things that we want to talk about. But this one by Bespin Bulletin. How long will Star Wars, The Mandalorian, and Grogu film for? Exclusive. Last month, Lucasfilm formally announced The Mandalorian and Grogu, a feature film that follows the hit Disney Plus series The Mandalorian. At the time, the Lucasfilm only shared that production on the movie would start later this year. But earlier this month, these are two production magazines that talk about filming schedules, shared that filming on the Jon Favreau-directed flick is due to begin on June 17th, 2024. That is this year, Pro. And that
yes,
is
and when
very
it
soon.
appears with those publications, let's just say that it basically leaves rumor and speculation territory. Now, it's still in the future, so a date can shift, but it's very credible when that appears that way, because that's an opportunity for trade workers to get involved in the job and to apply.
Ah, I see. Now, I'm skipping ahead in the paragraph here. I can also now add when filming is currently slated to finish. According to my sources, that would be of the Bespin Bulletin, the film will run from June until October, making it a 4-month-long shoot. For comparison, the last season of The Mandalorian, season 3, that is, filmed from late September until March of the following year, September 2021 until March 22, which was a 6-month shoot, and that was just for principals and reshoots. This sounds to me like they don't have enough time to shoot a movie. 6 seasons in a movie, as Community would like to say. This does not sound like enough time to shoot a movie, let alone a movie and a TV show.
There's two things here, Jonas, that we really need to focus on. And, we have to trust that Bespin, they're putting themselves out there in a major way right now. If this is wrong, it's going to look bad for Bespin. And so, who knows, but let's go with what they're saying. If what they're saying is true, and this is a 4-month-long shoot, and if it's going to begin in June, we are currently in February. We also know that this is correct, that season 3 was a 6-month-long production. What this would mean is that season 4 simply doesn't have enough time to do what it needs to do in terms of production to be done before they start the movie. Now, that would mean that the likelihood of season 4 happening falls down a crater somewhere in a galaxy far, far away. So not good. That said, could they do it after the movie? Could they actually go and shoot episodes 1 through 4 or 5 or 6 or whatever it was supposed to be for season 4 after the movie's done? Well, maybe. But even then, that's going to push The Mandalorian season 4 very late into 2025. What this is looking like is it is looking very much like what you talked about here on this channel and what ThatParkPlace.com covered exclusively, which was that The Mandalorian season 4 may be gone. They may do a cost-cutting measure here and completely eliminate that season and wrap up the Mandalorian storylines with this movie so they can get Grogu out of this situation and move him over to Rey or whoever else they need to use him for to pick up the slack with merchandising. The other very interesting thing that we need to pay attention to, go back to that for just a moment, Jonas. We got to look at this one more time, because in that last paragraph that we were reading, Lucasfilm will have plenty of time to get The Mandalorian and Grogu ready for a 2026 release. Now, I don't know if that's a typo. I don't know what that is, but Jonas, everything we have heard up to now has been that this is a 2025 movie. That's what the big deal was, to get this thing out by December 2025. Bespin, whether they say it or not, whether they focus on it or not, are they suggesting that this has now moved back an entire year?
That's amazing that you caught that. I was thinking about the fact that this was originally when we thought the Mandoverse movie might be, or sorry, now that the Mandoverse movie is supposedly the second sequel, the second movie in a trilogy of films, that Rey movie was supposed to be in May of 2026. But this Mandalorian movie has been said to be the next Star Wars film. and that a Star Wars film is coming out in 2025.
Now, InSnyder, okay, so we know that that's a clever website name, but InSnyder is saying that Mandalorian Grogu is going to release in May of 2026, and that Rey is going to release in December of 2026. Listen, they're insane. They're absolutely insane. Not Bespin, not InSnyder. Disney. If this is legit, if they really are going to release 2 Star Wars movies coming back in a single year, and if they're going to put Rey as their giant holiday 2026 film, they have lost every marble in Bob Iger's head. This is worse than Happy Happy Hippos with somebody who's jived up on Java. Look out, world, because you can't come back with 2 Star Wars films in a single year without ridiculous amounts of risk. That is insanity. This is a franchise on the ropes, and Rey is something that is definitely not a given, especially with what we've seen out of Lucasfilm and Charmin Obaid-Chinoy. This rings to me to be untrue. I don't think that Rey is going to come out in that time frame, and if The Mandalorian gets moved back, I think it moves Rey back, and if Rey gets moved back, it starts to look less likely that Kathleen Kennedy is going to be there orchestrating Rey. Don't know what's going to happen, but don't forget Kathleen Kennedy's contract runs out this year, and the chances that she comes back after that, well, we'll have to wait and see what happens. People have been predicting her removal for a long time, myself included to some degree, thinking that there's no way they'll bring her back at the end of this year, but who knows? Kathleen Kennedy, she just, well, I guess that Panderstone is powerful.
She will never live that down for the rest of her life.
Nor leave.
The thing that I want to point out here is this is also part of a recent trend to shift costs away from the Disney Plus platform. They said all those years ago that they were going to make Disney Plus profitable by the end of this calendar year. Sorry, this fiscal year, I should say. And one of the ways that they can do that is by taking costs away from them and assigning them on the books to other cost centers. And the movie cost centers are completely different from the Disney Plus cost centers. If they're going to put a little bit of content on Disney Plus, they can then decide themselves how much that content is worth to be on Disney Plus versus the movies. If they want to push all of this over to the movie side, which they've always done a very good job of hiding the ball there, when they try to say how much their movies cost versus how much their movies make, by the way, they never admit how much their movies cost to make. It's just the way Disney operates. This is a way to hide all of that and say, no, Disney Plus was profitable. How is it profitable? Well, we removed all the things that cost money and released them in theaters. So when Nelson Peltz, for instance, talks about 3 of the last 5 movies were bombs. Well, it's more like 5, maybe even 6 there. But there's no real way to confirm all of that. And of course, according to the reporting of Valiant and Renegade, we're able to see how much these cost versus how much they should make and how much they actually did make. So, Pro, is there anything else we're missing here before we wrap up?
It makes sense they would cancel season 4 from a financial standpoint. Think about how much a season plus a movie was going to cost in total. You're talking about $400 million based on the way Disney spends and leaks money. Mm-hmm. So apparently that pixie dust could not carry the day, and real finances hit the ledgers and hit the actuaries before they greenlit this. I do think it's fascinating, though, because every sign seemingly pointing now towards The Mandalorian season 4 being canceled. Is it true? Folks, we don't know. We simply don't know, but we reported that from a high-level source, and now every sign moving in that direction. So who knows? Who knows? Who knows? It's a rumor. It's speculation at this point, but it's getting more and more likely.
Right. By Jove, if it takes removing everything from Disney Plus and releasing it in theaters, they will make Disney Plus profitable by the end of this financial year.
One thing definitely coming out, Jonas, The Acolyte. And that's in spite of it going to fail, undoubtedly.
Yeah, I don't think there's much chance of them recutting that one into a movie before that hits the platform. Of course, if you want to know more about The Acolyte, you can check out videos on this channel and, of course, on the WDW Pro channel. I want to say thank you very much to the support that we've received here. Speaking of that, we do have a Patreon that'll be listed in the links down below if you want to check that out. Like this video if you like this video. Of course, that's for free. And you can share it out if you want to support us us and consider subscribing to That Park Place for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Place News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.